it was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes. We need to do more.
We are the outlaws.
After a collision, great competition, great entertainment. What do you want more?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates, live from the Fujairah International Marine Sports Club, where you are going to be watching the second qualifying session from this opening Grand Prix of 2025. Now, qualifying for the first Grand Prix was a pretty tight affair, just shy of 0.02 of a second separating first from second, that saw Sharjah hit the top spot. It was Sean Torrenti and Mikhail Kitashev who reached that pole and then won the very first Grand Prix of the year from second alongside Konstantin Ustinov. So there was a swap of driver. But here we have a fresh slate as our 9 teams head out for this session. Enerjima opting to stay in the pits ahead of heading out for the Grand Prix later on, and we can possibly touch on that as we head throughout this session. There's XCAT boat number 2, just not flying out of the gates, but we do have half an hour worth of qualifying here, so it will be a 30-minute session. The XCATs have an unlimited number of laps, and their best lap will be what counts. You cannot touch the XCAT, refuel, or change propellers during that half-hour session. And it looks like Sebastian Groth might have a problem there. Might have a touch of an issue. We shall see if they make it out for qualifying. Sebastian Groth and Michael Benson back together in that boat number 2 of XCAT. Looks like it's an issue rather with the hands device there, which attaches to a driver's helmet and then round the shoulders to protect their neck and themselves from concussion if the worst were to happen. And that looks like that problem has now been sorted. Looks like it was Mikhail's hands device, very similar to on-road racing. If you ever see on dry land, very similar thing for racers there, it just protects from unwanted wobbles. So, half an hour of qualifying, and we were seeing 2:30s in qualifying the other day. And HPI Fujairah Racing, who during official practice had a sensor issue, 10-minute fix and back out. So they are looking to power themselves higher up the positions after seeing themselves finish third in the pole position qualifying session from Friday, which was of course our opening pole position qualifying for Rosario and Giuseppe Schiani di Colla, the defending 2024 UIM XCAT World Champions. And the course is looking ever so bumpy. The swell is looking slightly more aggressive. And there we have XCAT, boat number 2, just leaving the pontoon now, which is good news. We want to see everybody out there. So just Energyman now, as we know, sitting in waiting for the Grand Prix later, rather than risking their XCAT that they're currently in ahead of this session. So on board with boat number 96, HPI Fujairah Racing Team, the Neapolitan brothers in the cockpit as we head into the first sighting laps of this qualifying session. And just a reminder that yesterday's opening Grand Prix of the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship was won by boat number 9, who started second on the grid. As we see Faz Marine, they had a small issue with their Mercury ROS during the race yesterday. Looks like that's all been fixed and they are back out on the water. And there we see one of 2 Victory Team boats. That looks like boat number 7 of Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali. They won the SpeedCat run here on Friday, being named the fastest boat on the water certainly in a straight line, finishing second in the opening Grand Prix here. They are a fantastically nippy boat. That XCAT purrs beautifully with those 2, but they are one of 2 Victory Team craft out there. Boat number 7, which is out there at the moment strutting their stuff. You will also see boat number 33 of Victory Team, Ahmed Al Fahim and Gary Ballou behind the controls of that particular XCAT, and they are hot on the heels of their teammates, in fact. So Victory doing a fantastic job of setting the pace, and as soon as we get the first times through, obviously we will share them with you. And there is our early leader here, Sharjah, leading the championship, second in the first qualifying session, and of course winners of the opening round here, the opening Grand Prix. And speaking to Sean ahead of that race, he definitely was laser focused. But today's another day, as we are on board with boat number 3, Faz Marine. Absolutely flying. Are they flying free, as it might suggest on the side of that XCAT? Well, we will find out, as Francis Nocella and Arif Al-Safain, slight issue there, but Arif, no stranger, was of course a world champion in 2021, and Francis, who has jumped into the cockpit with him, the Belgian. It's a little unicorn for good luck. Haven't seen it here so far, but I'm sure it's tucked away safe and sound. So Faz Marine, boat number 3, absolutely flying. And I know Ragesh, the team manager, will be watching on from the manager's area intently. So Faz posting a 2:46. That is definitely just a sighting lap. It's looking ever so bumpy, and it's quite interesting because we have proper offshore conditions on one half of the course, and then obviously as we head into the lagoon here, as I've been taken to call it, in Fujairah, the conditions obviously calm quite considerably. So do you set up for calm or do you set up for rough? It's a conversation I've been having with the crews throughout the course of this Grand Prix weekend. And to be fair, it just depends. They try and test for both, but it's not always obvious until you're out there. So be interesting just to pick up on those more technical aspects of XCAT racing throughout the course of 2025. And we have the beginnings of timings coming through now. Victory, boat number 7, posting a time Just 2:39.5. Not going to be their quickest time. That is them just getting ready to go. And we have a red flag. A red flag has been waved from race control. Hopefully it is nothing too worrying. That usually indicates that there is an obstruction on the race course or somebody has ended up capsizing, and we hope that it is nothing too serious. There we can see the recovery team are heading out. So we shall see just what has happened there. No matter what it is, hopefully everybody is safe and sound. But they are going at some speed here. So we've managed to get 3 times in the bag so far, but they were very obviously just sighting laps as they get everybody back to the pontoon potentially, or they might send everybody just to the muster area and see where we go from there. But there you can just see one of our many safety crews heading towards the scene of whatever has happened. It does look like we might have had an issue towards the end, and we do have a capsized XCAT. But everybody is out. It is Sharjah. Yesterday's winners. Yesterday's second position. Sean and Constantine are out and well, which is the single most important thing. But that is the end of their qualifying. But let's be honest, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that both are out of their XCAT safe. They've used their escape hatch, one of which is located underneath. You can just see the hatch actually just being transferred over there onto one of our recovery ribs. But they're moving. They look like they're moving well, so hopefully no lasting damage to themselves, first and foremost. And attention can move towards the XCAT. You can see the 2 Mercury engines now, the actual engines submerged here in the lagoon, and that is what will do the damage. But as I say, most importantly, they are out and they seem to be moving freely. There you can see the Bergamo Scuba Angels, and there's a reason why they're called Angels, because they come to our rescue. So fantastic to see them out and healthy. They're probably a little rattled, certainly a little sore. The water can be very soft until you have a high impact collision, and then it's incredibly painful. But there you see Sean and Constantine are fine. And they will be escorted back to dry land, where they will be thoroughly checked over now by the medical crews to make sure that they haven't injured themselves in a way that we can't see, because safety is the priority. So the crew of Sharjah, boat number 9, being escorted back as quickly as is safe to do so. And then as soon as it is confirmed that they are in fact fine, and it looks like, at least to my untrained eye, that they are chatting, and they may be a little battered and bruised, but fundamentally they seem okay. And then attention will turn to recovery of boat number 9. They won't write it out here. They will lasso it and bring it back to the pontoon, at which point it will be recovered, and the team of Sharjah can start to assess the damage to that XCAT. But as you can see, the recovery rib is moving at some lick. It's important to get them to the onshore medical team as quickly as possible and check that they are okay. And then the tough decisions will be made this afternoon. Will the machine of the XCAT allow them to continue, and will they be medically signed off to continue? And we will see what happens there. Of course, the logistics of this, we've had it red flagged, so nothing can happen until the XCAT of Sharjah is recovered, at which point the XCAT crews will be back out on shore. Or at least that's the plan. Obviously this is a very busy waterway. I'm sure everybody relieved to see the crew of Sharjah out. I know I am. But it just shows they were really pushing it. They're obviously wanting that pole. And so they pushed it to the edge and then over the edge. You can see they seem to be moving fine. All the safety measures doing their job. Sean just up and over. And the paddock and all the competitors, all the teams, we're all very close. We spend a lot of time together during the course of a year. So highly worrying for everyone, but as you can see, heading back and they've gone straight to the paddock. They will have to be seen by the medical team, of course, just to confirm that there's nothing nasty underlying, so no concussions or anything like that. But as you say, they look more aggravated than injured, which has got to be a good sign. Got to be a good sign indeed. So, what can we expect from the rest of qualifying as boat number 9 is escorted from the racecourse? Well, as it stands, Victory Team boat number 7 are first, Victory Team number 33 are second, and Fazmarine managed to post a time that left them in third. No other timed laps were managed to be completed. And so we will hang on and see what race control decide to do. I imagine we will pick up where we have left off. But in the meantime, just a reminder of what happened yesterday. So it was that XCAT there that were our winners. They were top step of the podium. They were second in qualifying. But it just goes to show how quickly this weekend can change. There we see team manager of HPI Fujairah Racing Team, Enelajima Marit Stromoy there, who was out in an XCAT. And then we've got the managers and all the onshore team just chatting away, taking a well-deserved break, which is exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to go to a break, and then when we return, we will pick up the Grand Prix qualifying for this second pole position qualifying for the grand finale here in Fujairah.
نيجي اللي نبدا نعيدوك.
go next week in another race?
No. That's I'm always say to him. We absolutely agree. But now there is you have just put them on board, right? Yeah. Just we take teams. Say guys, we don't want to take our risk on pole position only because we do the race. So Friday is a pole position. Saturday you have the race. Sunday you have the race too. Use the result. Always become. That's all. Easy. And
Welcome back, everybody, and happy to announce that green flag has been waved. Team Sharjah being looked at pit side, and qualifying is back underway. And there we see boat number 17 Q8 running those developmental Mercury 300Rs that we are testing here in the championship in 2025. Fully homologated racing engines by the UIM already racing all over the place. It was interesting to see how they got on yesterday, and of course as the year goes on I'm sure we will understand further just how these two 300s impact the XCATs here rather than the 400Rs that are usually placed on the rear stern of the XCATs. So we've counted back at pole position. We have 18 minutes left. Boat number 3, Faz Marine, back at the party. And we shall see how they fare. And Q8, boat number 17, Abdul Latif and Badr Al Dusari in there. So, after that brief excitement, where again everybody seems healthy, which is the most important thing, we can get back to pole position qualifying as the spectre of Sharjah just being pulled into the marina looms large. And there we see Badr. So it must be Khalid Ali and Abdul Latif Alamani in that XCAT, but it's a Swecat, boat number 2, after the early management of a hand system out there on the course. They will be absolutely hammering for a solid performance here in qualifying. They finished second in the 2024 UIM XCAT World Championship, of course, 6 points. Agonisingly close, 6 points off the step and the trophy that they desperately wanted. It was Sebastian Groth and Erik Sumbla Johansson last year, of course, but it is Michael Benson back in the XCAT with Seba now. And it looks like they have their balance beautifully. The ballast just popped so that the bow doesn't lift too much, and then you can just see the change of water as you go from the lagoon into proper offshore. Starts to get rougher. Swecat with a sighting lap of 2:48. They will get remarkably quicker than that, I'm sure. It's hard to call who will be the fastest XCAT of this session. The interruption might have helped some but hindered others. But in about quarter of an hour we will know, and so will they. Our onshore management teams desperately looking at timings, talking to their crews, as boat number 17 there on the port side of your screens coming in for a metaphorical lap landing as Faz Marine fly through the timing boys and the ticker can commence. Let's see if they beat their 2:44. I am almost certain that they will. So XCAT at the moment, hammering through the lap. Boat number 2, they're currently posting 131, 132, 133. Managing the waves and the swell elegantly. Looks very well balanced. I know I said it earlier, but flying as Seb and Mikkel wrestle with their XCAT. Into the lagoon they go for what will be the final corner around Buoy Echo. Echo 1, Echo 2, Echo 3, making sure that they arc as much as they can. You want to get close to the buoys but not too close. Precision is the name of the game. They've got pretty clear water in front of them. And they round the lap. There's the man in charge of making sure the timing is on point, keeps an eye on all the machinery, as boat number 2, XCAT, they haven't quite managed to beat the time, but they will. Or won't they? No, they won't. Still struggling, and the conditions must be much more testing out there than they were on Friday during our first qualifying session. We still have just shy of 13 minutes to go. XCAT in 5th. As boat number 17 head off as they continue their journey towards their qualifying position. There you can see just the lightweight XCAT. So in addition to the 2 Mercury 300s on the rear, powering from the stern, they're also lighter than their compatriots to make up for the drop in power compared to the 400s. So interesting to see just what a difference that makes overall. They are currently in 6th. Of course, there will now be 8 XCAT crews contesting this pole position qualifying session after the dramatic capsizing of boat number 9, Sharjah. So there you can see Sharjah being extricated from the water. Delicate job. And there's victory alongside Q8. Victory 33 of Ahmed Al Fahim and Gary Ballou. Had a very quick chat with Gary just ahead of qualifying, and he was sharing his experience of XCAT racing here over the last few days. I think it's fair to say he's finding it exhilarating, and it's heavy praise indeed from a man who is very experienced, and it is fantastic to have a chap of that caliber in the paddock as we continue the surgery of removing boat number 9 from the water. It's a very tough job indeed. So as it stands, we have victory boat number 7, Salim and Isa, top of the pops, followed by Team GB in 2nd, Scott and Martin, Faz Marine in 3rd, Arif and Francis, boat number 33 of victory in 4th, XCAT in 5th, and then boat number 17, Abdul Latif and Khalid in 6th. Still waiting for times to be posted from Blue Banker, who may not be heading out, given that we have less than 10 minutes to go. I'm pretty sure I saw one of the crew elsewhere, and HPI not posting a time, and I saw them on the pontoon during our break. So on board with boat number 33, Victory Team, the second Victory Team XCAT in this championship. And I'm sure the inter-team rivalry will start to creep in as the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship season continues, but they are looking really hot on it at the moment. Team management there, just looking up. An ingenious contraption there, saving the screen from the sunshine. It's very warm here in Fujairah, even though it's only just gone midday. We are probably in for the hottest day of our time here. It's very, very warm, and that has an impact on our competitors, of course. It's very, very hot inside those cockpits. But here is 33, Victory. Absolutely motoring towards the timing boys. As they head through, they are just a sniff over their best time. They remain in 4th. XCAT coming into the pontoon. They look like their qualifying race is run. But HPI Fujairah Racing Team are back out on the course. I can just see them flying in front of me. They will be setting a time now. They've obviously decided to wait to let the other competitors head out for clean water. As Team GB, boat number 8, 2023 UIM XCAT World Champions, as we can see emblazoned on the side of their XCAT. Looks like they're slowing down a little bit. They're currently in 2nd, 3 seconds off of Victory Team Boat 7. Maria, team manager there, in constant communication with Scott and with Martin, just directing the 23 champions towards what they hope will be their first pole position of 2025. They had an extraordinarily strong end to 2024, if you remember. Double winners in our inaugural XCAT Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia, the Al Sharqiya Grand Prix. First and a second in Dubai from Scott Williams and Martin Campbell as well. So finished very strongly after what was a tough start to their championship retention that was here in Fujairah. They were the unlucky crew that ended up the wrong way up. But today, that is unfortunately someone else's turn, as they continue to chop away boat number 8 to the lead of Victory Team 7. The stop clock is on, and they are absolutely gunning for pole. When you talk to the crew of boat number 8, Team GB, they're not that interested in starting in pole sometimes because it doesn't give them the advantage. And it is boat number 96 we're on board with now, Rosario and Giuseppe, 2024 UIM XCAT World Champions, defending champions, the Italian duo from Naples, proud Neapolitans. Hard-fought victory last year, very strong back end of the season. But here in Fujairah, they are going to want to put in a great show. With Fujairah emblazoned on the side of their XCAT, they are going to want to deliver a winning performance, I'm sure. 3rd in the first qualifying, which is a fantastic achievement. We will continue to monitor their flying lap with great excitement as they pass the timing boys and jump into 3rd. HPI Fujairah Racing Team, the defending 2024 UIM XCAT World Champions, lay down a marker as they land in 3rd. Will they manage to go one better? I doubt we have it quite enough time, but we have seen HPI Fujairah Racing Team pull it out of the bag in the final few laps of qualifying before. These two boys have form. And there you can see Fujairah just in the backdrop. It's a wonderful place. Every time I come here, I find something new and exciting to do with my time. We are just an hour or so away from Dubai Airport if you land into Dubai. So I would encourage you to spend some time in this lovely emirate. It is wonderful, and of course the weather is fantastic alongside its magical coffee. I've got to say, I've had a very nice experience here. And there we are on board with number 33, Victory Team's second boat. Ahmed and Gary, both experienced, and now here in XCAT. You can see the setup looks different to boat 7. Just a little bit more playful out there offshore. Let's just see the difference. Let's draw your attention as we head past the breakwater. You'll see just the conditions underneath that Victory hull just change a little as they head now into that calmer water. Watch the whole XCAT settle down. It just calms down a little as this protected lagoon offers sanctuary as we head into Echo, Echo 1, Echo 2, Echo 3. And it's a good time here. They're on a 2:33, 2:34, 35. They've got to beat 2:39 and 400ths of a second to beat their teammate. They're not going to do that, but they are still on course for a good time here. It's just got away with them. They bogged down on that final corner. They're not going to better their time. They are still in 5th. So they are improving. Bearing in mind, they started in 7th. So, 7th during the last qualifying, I should add, just to avoid confusion. As HPI Fujairah Racing Team continue to put down laps. There you can see them just flying as the stopwatch starts. Let's see if they can better their third position. They've got 2:42 and 300ths of a second at the moment, with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining of this second qualifying session here in Fujairah in the UAE. Remember, the finishing positions here will determine our starting grid for the Grand Prix. This second Grand Prix here in Fujairah, which is penned to start at 1500 local time, will be on air, of course, slightly beforehand. At the moment it is Victory, Team GB, Victory 7 I should say, Team GB and HPI Fujairah Racing Team making up the top 3 of this qualifying. So as it stands, they will be in the traditional hot seat heading into the Grand Prix this afternoon. And then it is Faz Marine boat number 3 that sit behind that craft there in 4th. The second of the Victory boats, 33, in 5th. Sweccat in 6th, but they have headed back into the marina. Boat number 17 of Q8 in 7th. And then we will have, hopefully, Sharjah Enerjima and Blue Banker joining us for the Grand Prix this afternoon. And there you can see that Doug Wright-made hull of Fujairah Racing Team. Boat number 96. Just contesting with the offshore conditions as they head past that breakwater on the port side. Looking to climb up that championship table. Interesting setup there from Rosario and Giuseppe. Giuseppe, who arrived quite late on Thursday night, but that doesn't seem to have impacted him too much, with Rosario also taking the lead, defending their championship. It is tough. It is tough to be back-to-back winners, but they are here to give it an absolute go. And as they head across the timing line, it is the checkered flag. So we have a couple of XCATs on a time lap. 33 are out there on a timed lap. Team GB are out there on a timed lap. Victory Team, boat number 7, look like they're out there on a timed lap as well. but we are very close to calling our pole position finishers as it stands. Team managers feel like it might be over. It's not quite over. We still have some timing to be done. We still have some final official times to be collected. Team GB are currently rounding the final corner of Echo, Echo 1, Echo 2, Echo 3. As our boat number 7, our current pole sitters. They're not going to go faster. It is boat number 7, Victory. They look like they're happy with that. The checkered flag has been waved, of course. We're just waiting for Team GB to come past, but they look like they've throttled down as well. We'll just wait for the last official bits to be dealt with before I start getting excitable. Yeah, they throttled well down, well over 3 minutes. And so there we look like we have it. Boat 33 still out there, but our top qualifiers are in. Victory team, boat number 7 of Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali. They are leading the way. Team GB in second, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in third. 2023 champions being chased by 2024 champions there. Faz Marine in fourth, boat number 3. Great showing from them actually. Victory Team 33 in fifth, SweatCat in sixth, and Q8 in seventh. We still have Victory Team 33 out there posting a time. The correct and official thing to do would be to wait for them to finish. They do seem like they're on a bit of a flyer. 2:38, 39, 40. Okay, well, they're still flying. And they are unable to better their time. So there we have it. Victory Team number 7 on pole position here in Fujairah for the second Grand Prix of the weekend. Team GB in second, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in third, Faz Marine in fourth, Victory Team 33 in fifth, SweatCat in sixth, and then Q8 in seventh. Well, it was a qualifying session that had its fair degree of drama, but it is our Speed Cat Run winners, boat number 7, who put their XCAT on pole. The crew rightfully excitable there. A fantastic achievement from Isa Al-Ali and Salim Al-Adidi of Victory from Dubai in the UAE. A fantastic achievement there. They've been threatening all weekend. They've been quick all weekend. They, of course, finished second in the first Grand Prix, not just here in Fujairah, but of the 2025 UIM XCAT World Championship. I spoke to them earlier. They seemed pretty confident. And they were right to be so confident. Well done. Yes, chaps, you are number 1. So they will head into this afternoon's Grand Prix on pole position, followed hotly by Team GB and boat number 96, HBI Fujairah Racing Team. There was just about 2 seconds separating first from third. Team GB were only 0.06 of a second behind Victory Team, boat number 7 there, with HBI Fujairah Racing Team about a second, 1.3 or so behind Team GB. So a little bit of daylight, but not as much as you might have expected. And now we can have a bit of a break on this Sunday before you can enjoy what will be undoubtedly a tightly contested second Grand Prix here at the Fujairah International Marine Club in Fujairah in the UAE. There we see our pole sitters just on land, and they're either pointing to their crew or they're pointing to our drone. could be either. I mean, if you want to come in and see their garage and their paddock, then why not? So, fantastic achievement. So hard to do what they've just done. Sticking an XCAT on pole really is not the easiest thing to do, especially here where there is mixed conditions. The racecourse here is a fantastic one for us, but probably tough for the crews as they head from offshore into calm water in the lagoon. And here you are getting the full backstage experience. And it'll be interesting to see how this form now translates into race pace, because they were quick yesterday. They had a small engine issue, and then that put pay to their challenge yesterday, but you assume that it is not an issue now. So as the XCAT crews start to head back onto shore, it is time for us to look ahead to the second Grand Prix here in Fujairah. Thank you very much for joining us for this second qualifying session from this wonderful marina. Drama, certainly. Excitement, most definitely. And now we can look ahead to what will be a fantastic second Grand Prix. Thank you very much, and we shall see you at around about 1500 local time. We'll go live about 10 minutes before, just to show you what will be an exhilarating second Grand Prix from Fujairah.
It was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes.
Power isn't special. We don't fit on your canvas. We burn it all to
We need to do more.
'cause we are the outlaws.
Great competition, great entertainment. What do you want more?